And in the First Division, we ask, are Liverpool, who play West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns, home and dry? And if not, what's the best way to set about beating them? This is what Albion manager Ron Wiley thought at 2:45 yesterday.
Well, I think that at the moment, as you can see from the combination of our team, we have 3 centre defenders and 2 attacking fullbacks. Because Derek Statham is an attacking fullback and because Clive Whitehead is an ex-outside right, both these fullbacks will be playing in midfield, and otherwise they'll be in midfield in order to go forward and give us width and attack. Because at this club we don't have wingers, and so I've had to try and improvise a little bit by producing the 2 full-backs into midfield in order to go forward. So I'm hoping to try and attack Liverpool.
Magic of Liverpool that they attracted the biggest crowd of the day, 24,560, to the Hawthorns. Not a huge crowd by some standards, but good for West Brom and sufficient to provide an electric atmosphere in keeping with the nature of the fixture and a rather special presentation taking place. Your commentator, John Motson.
2 Albion players with special reason to celebrate today. Centre-half John Weil on the left is making his 600th league appearance. And first he presents to Cyril Regis, on behalf of the BBC, the goal of the season trophy for 1981-82. And that silver salver will be a permanent reminder to Cyril of the goal he scored here in the FA Cup last season against Norwich.
Here's Robertson. Regis taking it well on the chest, and a lovely piece of control by Regis. Oh, and what a great shot! Oh, one of the goals of the season!
Indeed it was, and today Regis hopes to score against Liverpool for the 3rd season running at the Hawthorns. He's one of 5 players in the Albion lineup who missed the 2-0 defeat at Anfield on the opening day of the season. Derek Statham, John Weil and Gary Owen were all absent, and just recently Albion have signed a new goalkeeper in Paul Barron. Liverpool, beaten only once in 18 matches, keep the same side, with Ronnie Whelan returning as substitute. Ian Rush, with 23 goals, has been making headlines, but what about Kenny Dalglish's recent record? 16 goals in his last 16 matches, and a grand total in his career of 299 in competitive club football with Celtic and Liverpool. And what will happen this afternoon tactically is that Albion will try and play with 3 centre-backs, Robertson, Weil and Bennett, in the hope of containing Hodgson and Rush, and they'll push their fullbacks, will Albion, Whitehead and Statham, into midfield. Wide positions, they hope, will be an attacking platform. In the meantime, it's Gary Owen and an offside against Peter Easter. Used to play for a Merseyside club. Easter, who came from Everton in exchange for Andy King at the beginning of the season. And this well-oiled Liverpool side, attacking on 4 fronts in 1983, the league and 3 cups. Hodgson fed forward to him again. Alan Kennedy is well forward here. Referee this afternoon is Tom Bune from Newbury. On by Owen, Regis chasing, back by Lawrence. That was Whitehead. Used to be an outside right at Bristol City, so he'll want to get forward when he can. Rush, Dalglish, good turn, little chip. Could have caught Barron off his line, and that's where Dalglish is so sensitive to what's on. To score that number of goals in your career, you have to be able to take opportunities from all angles. And he just sensed there that Barron might have been slightly off his line and tried the delicate chip. Dalglish to Neil. And away by Weil. The touch by Johnston was not accurate, so Owen pushes one forward, but offside was given against a combination of Regis and Zondervan. Souness, the Liverpool captain. Good tackle by Joe. Bennett, Owen. Regis wants it played now. Oh, well intercepted by Lawrenson. That was a fine piece of defending, and it may have gone unnoticed by many in the crowd. Instead, here's Lee. What a good effort, and turned over by Paul Barron. Sammy Lee, who had the shot. But the move started because Lawrenson intercepted almost casually a ball that would have put Cyril Regis on his way to goal at the other end. Brilliant play by Liverpool. Johnston with the flick on, and the header coming in from David Hodgson. Zondervan to Eastoe, Regis in the centre. Didn't run for him. It ran out off Lawrenson. Whitehead with the throw. Alan Kennedy with the interception. Good turn by Whitehead. Then it was Owen looking for Zondervan, who used some pace there, but the cross was longish for Regis. It'll find Statham. Bit tight for Joel, but a good layoff to Robertson. Here's Owen. Zondervan. Back in again by Joe. Owen. Zondervan. Good turn and away by Lawrenson. Side netting from Gary Owen. Trying to curl the ball into the near post for the big fellows who'd come forward. So half an hour gone here at the Hawthorns. Liverpool setting up play again in the Albion half. Where they've got 7 players pushed forward, one of them being Alan Kennedy, who's now in the outside left position. Sooners on that side as well. Off Bennett. Hodgson competing, so is Dalglish. Owen. Regis, good turn. And good ball, Statham. Can he go all the way, Derek Statham? Well, there's Ron Wiley's plan paying off to make the fullbacks into attacking midfield players. Cyril Regis with the initial turn and delivery, and beautifully done it was. Statham, who had the confidence and the strength to run on, and the shot wide of Grobbelaar's right-hand post. Joe. And Grobbelaar's gone all the way to meet Zondervan and lost him. And there's a chance in the middle here. And can Regis finish it off? He's hit the post. Eastoe couldn't get the rebound. Can Statham do something? Robertson. And Eastoe sets one up. And Robertson comes through again. And what an extraordinary piece of goalkeeping by a man who almost came to Albion when he was 15 years old, Bruce Grobbelaar. He was here on trial, and back at the Hawthorns today, he went all the way out to meet Zondervan on the right, missed him. Zondervan got the ball in, but Regis, having to beat a defender in the challenge, hit the post. Well, there is still a feeling that Grobbelaar has his more eccentric moments. He's a fine goalkeeper in the making. He's made some splendid saves this season, but a rush of blood just occasionally can make the Liverpool defenders ask themselves exactly what's happening. And Joel wins out against Dalglish. Gets a return from Gary Owen. Checks because Zondervan was trying to avoid being offside. He's not now, and Grobbelaar has to come and meet him rather more firmly this time. The Liverpool goalkeeper has to be the sweeper, the way they play, and Zondervan now twice has been the Albion player who's broken through, and somebody's spoken, I think it's Kenny Dalglish, speaking out of order to the referee, and he's being booked. There was a tackle just a few minutes ago by Joel on Dalglish, which set up that last move, where I think Dalglish thought he'd been fouled. The referee let play go. May have been that Dalglish was contesting. Hodgson with Bennett, and then with Owen. Shook them both off. Dalglish, Hodgson. Rush. Dalglish. Well, Paul Barron getting behind everything so far. Looking very comfortable. Owen forward. Well, Albion have scored in all their home matches this season, but in the first half here, Liverpool had the greatest share of play. The most interesting incident happening, though, at the Liverpool end, when the goalkeeper, Bruce Grobbelaar, was out of his ground, having come to meet Romeo Zondervan. The sparkling new main grandstand at the Hawthorns, which cost £2.5 million, and which is, Albion are proud to say, completely paid for. Among the VIPs in there today, the England manager, Bobby Robson. Liverpool, the highest scorers in the league with 58 goals, but Albion have only lost one match here at the Hawthorns this season. That was to West Ham way back in September. Here's rush for Liverpool. And Hodgson's going through there dangerously. Bennett went across. And tricked Lee very nicely. Found Derek Statham, who in turn found Regis. Eastoe is offside. Joe Fagan, tipped by many as the next boss at Anfield. Dalglish. Well, that was right on the edge, says the referee. Dalglish is pointing, saying to the linesman that was inside. The referee has gone to have a look. Martin Joel will be relieved if he goes to the position where he pointed, which he has. And that award has been given outside the area, much to the distaste of the Liverpool players. It could still be dangerous, nonetheless. Gesture towards the crowd by Dalglish, who feels he was wronged. Left for Lee to float one, and Joel to clear with a header. Lee again. Johnston. Clear foul by Johnston on Gary Owen. A little bit of frustration creeping in on Liverpool's part, having been denied the penalty that they appealed for. 5 minutes gone in the second half, and no score. Neil. Dalglish. Albion crowd growing restless as Liverpool build up with Rush. Hodgson, Rush again. Appeals by Albion, and here's Craig Johnston. Well, Ian Rush working the move in the first place with David Hodgson. Paul Barron down, not able to hold, and Craig Johnston coming in, but unable to turn the ball into the net from that angle. Eastoe was fouled by Lawrenson. Lawrenson's header out. Hodgson didn't make it. Joel did. Bennett. Regis. Whitehead. Eastoe coming near post. Could be dangerous, this. Well, Grobbelaar did awfully well. Peter Eastoe sneaking in behind the defence as Whitehead put the perfect ball in, and Grobbelaar coming to meet the Albion man certainly put him off sufficiently to prevent Liverpool going a goal down. Wasn't so much a save as an intervention, but a very important one. So Grobbelaar perhaps atoning for that one moment of carelessness in the first half. Oh, good running by Lawrence and onto the free kick from Souness. I was talking to Rob Paisley about Mark Lawrenson before the match today, and he made the point that when he bought him, he bought more than just one player. He bought a man who can fill into so many positions. And there are people who will tell you that Lawrenson ranks among the most complete players in Britain. Statham, they want it played early, but they might get caught offside. He's gone alone. Joe, Owen, and now Bennett. Lifts one in for Eastoe. Can Regis make it? Neil could. And this could be dangerous for Albion. Liverpool have 4 against 3. Lee plays it to Hodgson, who takes on Weil. And Souness. Well saved by Barron. Albion looked like losers there in that Liverpool attack. They were a man short at the start. The build-up was good, and Souness found a very forward position. Dalglish. Here's Kennedy. And away by Joel. Rush. Dalglish. Offside. And 24,500 people who've come here today, sensing that this match is still perfectly balanced. Eastoe knocking one back. Owen. Statham is well forward. Well, that's a bit rough. Lawrenson, free kick. He said he won the ball, but the man went down in the same movement. The man indeed was Eastoe. Well, they've pushed Bennett forward, they've pushed Weil forward. played for Gary Owen to chip one, but that's no chance at all from an Albion point of view because it was much too long. Regis had come in too far perhaps, but here's Souness, and now Liverpool on the break with 4 up. Kenny Dalglish. Look at the number of red shirts around here. Hodgson. Lee. And Hodgson! Oh, the best move of the match. Certainly the most penetrating and the closest we've come to a goal. Liverpool came out of defence there and got 7 red shirts in the Albion half in next to no time. Sammy Lee played the final ball in. Hodgson volleyed. It looked from this angle as though it might go in. In fact, it went outside the post. Regis. Johnston. Dalglish. Hodgson. Into Johnston. May run for Souness. Hodgson. Rush is hovering inside the area and he's there. And Ian Rush. And that's Liverpool. They don't mind if they score in the first minute or the last. They'll get there in the end. And we were just into injury time when Ian Rush put the ball in the net for his 24th Liverpool goal of the season, and Joe Fagan just checks the watch. And the Liverpool supporters see their side turn what appeared to be a certain goalless draw into what looks like now another 3-point performance by the champions and league leaders, and it was virtually the last kick. And how many times has Liverpool done it? Bill Shankly always used to say the match lasts 90 minutes plus what the referee adds on. And right at the very end, Paul Barron beaten by Ian Rush. Albion beaten at home for only the 2nd time this season. And the question remains unanswered. Who now can stop Liverpool?
Well, first of all, John, congratulations on your 600th league appearance. It's never nice to lose on an occasion like that, but it's the old question, really. What is the senior professionals' view on why Liverpool keep on doing it?
Well, it seems very, very easy, having played against them 10 years ago. It's still the same Liverpool machine doing the same things as they were doing then. And I think, really, there isn't any great secret to them because they preach simplicity, and that's how they play it. They never try to do anything difficult unless they're around the box. And certainly the front players are well capable of doing it when they get in there. But I think they have a faith in their method, and they won't be altered by other people's views. I think there was a time when people were very critical of them being a dull side. I think they've come through that, and they're now a very attractive side who are confident. And this continuity, I think it breeds confidence. And certainly you see new players coming in. As I said, it really is the same team which was playing for Liverpool 10 years ago with just a set of different players. But because of their simple method, the new players coming in just seem to adapt very, very quickly and easily.
Is that because some of the older players and the star names are asked to do just as much hard work as the newcomers?
Yes, I think they've certainly put the team effort before anything else, which I think is a big compliment. And certainly good players who are humble enough to sacrifice their own game for the team benefit, I think that is a sign of a very, very good player. But it's also the sign of a very, very good staff. And when you talk about Liverpool, I think you must look at the people behind the scenes, because they must have a tremendous influence on the players. And certainly the players do as they're told, or appear to be so anyway. And that is their strength.
An interesting view of Liverpool there from a man who should know. Outstanding players unselfishly sublimating their skills to the needs of the team. And there are those who claim that method football suppresses flair, and those who think that to put too great a belief in carefree skills costs goals and points. Well, the answer, it seems, is in finding the perfect balance. Do it in the right place at the right time, and afterwards, however many international caps you've earned, accept with humility the boss's verdict. Well, West Bromwich Albion were a bit unlucky in the end to get away with nothing, but if ever a game which was far from a classic owed something to 3 points for a win, that one did. Whatever the problems they had in coping with a strong wind over 90 minutes, in the closing stages both teams went flat out for a knockout, which at least kept the game alive until the final whistle.
Apart from a seemingly unassailable 10-point lead in the Championship, Liverpool are also chasing the European Cup, the FA Cup and the Milk Cup. It's that last competition which Liverpool, the holders of course, now turn their attention to, because on Tuesday they meet West Ham in one of the quarter-final ties. It's a repeat of the final 2 seasons ago, which went to a replay after a 1-1 draw at Wembley. And in the second game at Villa Park, Liverpool came from behind to win 2-1, with Kenny Dalglish getting a marvellous equaliser.
It's the West Ham crowd who are singing, but all credit to Liverpool. They haven't been put out of their stride either by the goal or being denied by the woodwork twice. Here's McDermott, back to his old sharpness. And I must say Rush is giving the side nice balance. And here's Dalglish. Oh, that's a marvellous goal. Really a classic goal from Dalglish.
Today's team news for the Liverpool-West Ham tie, Bob Paisley told me that he has no injury problems and that he's likely to field the side which beat Albion. West Ham manager John Lyall is not quite so certain of his lineup. Ray Stewart had one stitch inserted in a cut on the instep after yesterday's game at Nottingham Forest. But as long as there's no swelling or discomfort, he should be okay, as should Francois van der Elst, who twisted a knee during the same game. Both Alvin Martin and Paul Goddard, who returned to the team yesterday, came through without further problems.